Hello, my name's Ralph Anderson. I'm the very proud Australian agent for the Kukri house handicraft industry in Nepal.
Hi, I'm Phil Salt, and I'm the very proud South Australian rep.
Please watch this following three-part series to get the truth and a good understanding of the Nepalese cookery manufacturing industry.
My aim is to give you useful information to identify excellent cookery manufacturers whilst using the facts to expose Sweetcostarica for his fraud and prejudice against third world businesses. Sweetcostarica has selected a significant group of cookery manufacturers and defamed them using extreme arrogance hidden behind the veil of a friendly manner. The unethical act of publishing sweeping defamatory statements about a significant group of Nepalese cookery manufacturers has the aim of stealing their market share and transferring it to a first world sponsored business, namely Tora Blades, founded by Simon Hengle in 2005, who lives in England. By the end of this presentation, you will be well informed on how to select an excellent cookery manufacturer whilst being alert to the false schemes of ignorant self-appointed experts, namely Simon Hengle and Sweetcostarica. For now, they are going to be referred to as Sweet and Hengle, but later they will have new names. As a new student of the cookery industry, it was not long before I viewed Sweet's most popular video, Nepal's Cookery Manufacturers, the Best and the Worst. It immediately struck me as an outrageous and false representation of KHHI, and the smell of a rat immediately struck me. The more I investigated Sweet and Hengle, the more it made sense. This investigation has involved the assistance of two very knowledgeable men who are my mentors. Ralph Anderson was in the Australian Regular Army and Special Forces and was a weapons expert and test pilot for new weaponry. He is also a professional knife maker, and now in his retiring years he is a Justice of the Peace, a man of good stature in his community and a Christian chaplain visiting retirement homes and hospitals regularly. Ralph's relationship with the Gurkhas began in a remarkable way when a very brave Gurkha saved his life in Borneo. For decades, Ralph has tried to locate this Gurkha to thank him, and this is how Ralph came into contact with Kukri House Handcraft Industries that was originally founded by two retired Gurkhas in 1991 with the shorter name Kukri House. Ralph is one of the very few Westerners who has been invited into the Gurkha Association and is an adopted brother of Suraj Lama Tamang, the owner and managing director of KHHI in Nepal. Ralph has a collection of KHHI cookeries which he regards very highly for their quality, presentation and price. Here's Ralph discovering his new favourite cookery, new out of the wrapping, the Three Chura, also known as the Beast, manufactured by KHHI, that is easily cutting through the third hardest wood known to man, Australian gidgee, on a less than ideal surface that simulates a wilderness environment.
I'll practice at this.
My other mentor is Suraj Lama Tamang, a son of one of the retired Gurkhas who founded the original cookery house in 1991 in response to the low-quality cookeries being supplied to the Gurkhas in the 1980s. Suraj grew up in Nepal and has spent his whole life learning about cookeries and the variations of its design, which will be mentioned in more detail soon. Under Suraj's management, KHHI has expanded its product range to accommodate the global market whilst maintaining the many traditional designs and continuing to secure supply contracts to the British Gurkhas between 1992 and 2014. Please note, any cookery manufacturer who has secured more than one supply contract to the British Gurkhas has done so recently most definitely ticks the boxes of producing high quality products. More about this later. I sent Suraj an email with a long list of questions to assist me in producing this presentation many weeks ago. In waiting for his reply, I have discovered that Suraj is incredibly busy working very hard to deliver the best outcomes with continuous hurdles to overcome. Most of all, he deeply struggles with the unethical internet parasites seeking to capitalize on KHHI success in two ways: strategic defamation, trying to steal market share, which has happened with Sweet promoting Tora Blades, And then there are the copycats from within Nepal doing a lot of harm as well. Both these areas will be looked at in more detail in this presentation. Who are my mentors up against? Sweetcostarica is a man that will not reveal to me his real name, which I have attempted to find out directly on his YouTube channel and indirectly twice through Hengle's website. On most of his videos he hides his hands with gloves and he never shows his face. Sweet falls into the opposite extreme of the Gurkhas, an outright coward. All I know about him is he does seasonal tourism work in Alaska, and he has the cheek to attack the tourism industry of Nepal using false information to create a twisted understanding of the truth in the minds of those watching his YouTube presentations. You will soon find out the truth about the Kukri industry, making you much wiser while discovering how much of a fraud Sweet actually is. Simon Hengle has made himself incredibly unpopular in Nepal, with his many comments on social media that are very arrogant and false regarding the Kukri manufacturing industry. The Nepalese are humble and very discerning of people's character as a necessity of survival in a country that needs a community to survive. Their way is to negotiate and work out differences in a very civilized manner. For a Nepalese businessman to say that Hengle is hated in Nepal is a very big statement about Hengle's character. This explains, I believe, why Hengle has not been able to build up a team of craftsmen called camis, but only has the part-time availability of a husband and wife team who both work full-time jobs elsewhere, according to his website. Yet new information has surfaced that tells me that Hengle is not truthful and he is concerned about legal action against him. Firstly, Suraj, my mentor, has recently visited a kukri manufacturer named Harry BK from Gorkha, who has been making kukris for Tura blades. The quality and finish of these blades were not export quality by KHHI standards. Furthermore, Tura blades were not getting enough orders and Harry's business is struggling and he would like to work for KHHI instead. Why is Harry excluded from being mentioned on Hengle's website? Why is Hengle not open and honest about Harry being a manufacturer? Is it because confidence between them is dissolving? I think so. Additionally, a preliminary legal investigation of Hengle has been done, and we have learnt that he has put all of his business concerns in his wife's name. Is it because he is concerned about his defamation of an entire industry in Nepal that he is competing against and he is concerned about legal action? What I do know is that in over 10 years of trying to build a business team in Nepal, Hengle has failed. It typically takes 3 very skillful men to forge the basic shape of a kukri. How does a husband and wife team do this? More about this later. Another observation is that Hengle is a bit strange with numerous photos of himself doing the splits to show off his martial art expertise on his Facebook page. Admittedly, he knows his martial arts very well, and a lot of stuff on his Facebook page is very good. But his lack of ethical standards has ejected him out of the kukri industry, and Sweet's deceptive YouTube video seems to be Hengle's last-ditch effort to save his failing business. Tura's kukris, according to an expert, are weird and exaggerating the features of traditional kukris, are expensive, and has the worst customer conditions of prepayment with a minimum wait of 6 months. It does not require much intelligence to work out why Hengle's business model is failing, and that it ultimately has everything to do with his character encapsulated in the very big statement that he is hated in Nepal. Here is a direct quote from my mentor Suraj that aligns with Sweet's deceptive video and speaks volumes about Hengle's reputation. Simon has a very big mouth, and he is hated almost everywhere. He is also banned from many forums and blogs since he speaks whatever he pleases and for him only. Now, for those of you who are in a hurry, I have put on the screen a conclusion chart that is the summary of this 3-part series. Right now it serves the purpose of being a curiosity appetizer. Please hit the pause button and have a read as well as taking a screenshot and saving it for future reference.